brada, rekao ne koristi je, znači ne piše, to sam mislila, a ako ste ljevak, onda lijevo možete. Dobro. I'm going to share meanwhile your book so we can go on with upper intermediate here. Oops, not this. Sorry, wrong one. Where's my book? Here it is. Okay. Yes.
Done.
Done, thank you. Okay, so last time we finished the first unit, and now we will go through the second one. We will start with unit number 2, and it's bad for you. You can see the title here, and according to these pictures here on the right, okay, I'm sure you can guess what the text is, or actually what the unit is all about. So about different kinds of food, not only food, but the way how we eat. Okay, so this is a topic which we discussed last year too, and we discussed what kind of food we usually eat, how fast food is not healthy for us, and something like that. Question for Anna, for example. Okay, you can see Guy here and Jasmine. Okay, and who has that healthier, let's say, way of life, do you think, and why?
On the picture, it seems like this girl. Because, it looks like she's outside for running or something, and she's sitting at home and eating fast food. I mean, on that picture, I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay, yes, you're right, okay. And according to these two pictures, we can guess what they are talking about. Like, he enjoys fast food and she enjoys healthy food. I mean, we see that
maybe she don't enjoy it, she just do it because she wants to be healthy. And
okay. But Christina, what do you think of the way how Guy looks like? I mean, he's slim, isn't he? And do you think that this pizza actually is a problem for him?
No, I think pizza is not a problem because this guy look like training all day.
I think the way he eats is the bigger problem. He's sitting on the floor, his stomach is bent over. For me personally, I can't even eat like that. I have to eat on a table. I'm just saying from personal experience. I think it has to do with the way he's eating it. He clearly does look slim. He maybe has a cheat day or something where he's eating a little bit of pizza.
And I think it's small, only one part of pizza.
Just a piece.
I doubt.
Slice of pizza, maybe.
And the pizza's looking pretty vegan.
Is it? Just a second. I want to see if there is any ham or something.
It looks like a margarita, in all honesty.
I would say there is some salami or something like that here. This pinkish something. Okay. So the point here is about the way what they eat, and I told you that I still haven't found that audio which is divided into different recordings. So I have all that in one, which is pretty difficult to find exactly what I want. So again, I will skip. I apologize for that. This audio part, but here you can see these 6 sentences in exercise number 3, and these G or J's actually tell you who is telling each of these sentences. So I think I'm pretty healthy and I just eat what I like. That's what the guy says. Most mornings I have toast with a lot of peanut butter and jam. My mom's always complaining about my diet. That's what he's telling. Now, her side, her story. But I used to be so unfit, and I used to eat burgers and fries all the time. And I'd get an ice cream or something on the way home from school every day. And then I read a lot of stuff about healthy eating, and I knew my diet had to change. Okay? So they are telling about their habits, right? About what they eat or what they ate and how they actually consumed food. But before we start discussing it, I would like you to go through this short text here. Okay, just a second. Here it is. And then we will keep talking about that. Are you done?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Not yet. Okay. No?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Even, what is this short text, this short article actually telling us?
Basically that most of people don't know whether the food they're eating is healthy or whether it's not, and that
Just a second, Ivan. Again, I forgot to record the class, so I'm starting now. Sorry. Ivan, please.
So it's telling us about the fact that we don't know if the food that we are currently eating is bad or good for us. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it is. And also that there is a question, should we either eat organically food or industrially farmed food?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, that's it currently.
How much advice we listen to when somebody advises us what is healthy or what is not.
Mm-hmm. The last question, last sentence here is government agencies are quick to advise us about what and what not to eat. But very often we can find pretty contradictory, right, information. Somewhere you will find, like, let's say, eggs. You cannot eat more than 3 eggs a week. Somewhere you will find that you can eat eggs every day, or you should, I don't know, take coffee. You shouldn't take coffee. So you don't know actually what is or what is not healthy. Just a few days ago, I had a conversation with my mother. Oh, sorry. My battery, I have a warning. My battery is running low. Just a second, sorry. I just need to take my charger. Just a second, please. Sorry. Oh, here I am. Sorry, this is happening all the time because I forget that I had classes with the first year before you. As I said, I had a conversation with my mother, who is old. She's more than 80 and she's retired, of course. And she spends a lot of time reading different articles about health, you know, what else? The older we are, the more we take care of our health. And then she told me that she found information that we shouldn't like heat up rice, we shouldn't heat up any kind of food that is not healthy. Then we should take more tea or something like that. So many things that we commonly do. For example, if you make some food, and there is always something that you can heat up and eat later or the next day, right? Now it is not recommended at all. So what do you think of these different types of recommendations?
I think that heating up food is tolerable, but it depends on the where do you heat it up? Because if you heat it up in like I don't know, microwave, you don't want to heat it up multiple times. One time is enough, because it's funny. I read an article about that. They say it's contaminated food after that, because it heats up only the outer layout of the food, and everything inside is still cold until it's heat up properly. And when it's heat up properly, it changes whole chemical structure of entire food that you're eating. So I don't know how accurate is that, but that's what I read. And I don't from my point of perspective, I don't really watch what I eat. I gulp everything like a storm. So
okay.
I think it has to do with the contradictory information with the websites. There aren't any actual regulations on what's true and what's not. I can right now, today, this is bad for you, and nobody's going to fact check me. That's the main problem with the food health industry. Nobody's actually regulating it, especially information on the World Wide Web.
Yes.
But they regulate taxes.
They regulate taxes, of course. The IRS.
Of course they do. Okay. And I know that, for example, spinach or mushrooms, they cannot be heated up because they are really poisonous after that. So that food cannot be, for example, heated up. Srđan, when you buy a product, for example, whatever it is, do you read the labels, like ingredients or those additives, or how important is that for you, if at all?
Well, honestly, I never read such things, because I really don't think that if I buy, I don't know, China, how can I say that in English? I don't think I will buy it anyways. I don't think that it would make a difference if I read the ingredients or.
What about the due date? Actually, for example, of expiry date. You check it?
Well, it happened to me a lot of times that I come home and try to open something, and my mom tells me that it's expired.
So. Especially when you buy something which is on discount, or you can buy particles for one, it means that it is usually very soon. I'll have again to apologize to you, because I'm expecting a phone number from a serviceman. So I will have to reply. Just a second. Sorry, I apologize.
Naravno je ovo obračeno.
Ivane, pošaljite snimak toga predavanja, ovdje.
Kojeg predavanja?
Ivan, čini mi se Radonjić, ima snimak prvih vježbi iz operativnih.
Što smo radili?
Biće danas na YouTube to.
A čeka, like, share i subscribe bez tebe.
Guramo ga do miliona.
Tako je.
A milion.
Gold play button da dobije.
Sada kad bude reklame posred videa postavljao za Adoviću.
Po 30 sekundi, bez skipa.
Bez skipa, da. AFK Arena.
Ako se tako proda...
Read Shadow Legends.
Ne, to mora biti OnlyFans.
Dobro, si u Patreon.
Gdje je Andrej, brate?
NordVPN.
Koliko dugo prošlo kad sam čuo za NordVPN. Ne sjećam se zadnji put kad sam čuo tu reklamu.
Ja se ne sjećam kad sam zadnji put uspio naći akaunt, a da ga ne ugase posle 2 dana.
Brate, konstantno obnavljaš akaunt, da imaš konstantno period 15 dana.
Znam, brate, no nađem ga, lupam 10. On je 12. već mu i šifra promijenjena i sve.
Nego samo praviš novi akaunt.
Evo me, sorry, ja stvarno izvinjavam, ali ovo je neki majstor kojeg čekam od jutros da se javi, od rane zore. Tako da, izvinjavam se što sam vas ostavila ovako da, a neka ste vi malo pročaskali. Okay, so we are going on. So, as we said, in a way there are rules, but we are not so obedient, right? We don't follow them regularly, I guess, and as I said earlier, the older we are, the more we take care of our health. Okay, but we won't spend much time on that. What I would like to focus on are these verb forms in bold here in these 6 sentences. You can recognize that in the first 3 sentences we deal with present forms, and the other 3 we deal with past forms. Okay, so what do these forms have in common? What actually they talk about? How do we use them in this sentence? What we want to describe?
Možete samo da ponovite, internet mi nije...
Yes, so what these, for example, in the first 3 sentences, we have present forms, present simple, present continuous, and also this future form, will as well. So what is the point? How are these tenses, these verb forms used in these sentences? What is the focus on?
Habits or something that they do regularly.
That's right, we're dealing with habits. What about the other 3 sentences from 4 to 6?
What they used to do.
Past habits.
That's right, past habits. That's right, past habits or habits in past. So you can see that we have, as I said, different verb forms, but they all talk about either present or past habits. Dakle, iako imamo upotrebi različite glagolske oblike, odnosno vremena, govorimo o navikama, sadašnjim ili prošlim, right? So, what's the point? Talking about, let's say, Lukovic, the first sentence here. We have the use of present simple, right? And it is like the form which we mostly use when we talk about our habits. Luka, are you there? No.
This is ground control to Major Tom.
George?
To je samo bilo pitanje.
Yes, you're not following me at all today. Okay, so in the first sentence we have present simple, which we commonly know, which we use actually for description of our habits or routines, right? But what about future and present continuous in the use of explaining or describing habits? How do you explain that? Do you understand sentence number 2?
Yes.
How does it talk about habits in present, but we use future form?
I don't know.
Have you ever used it?
I don't think so.
What about sentence number 3, the present continuous?
I did use like present simple here always. Yes. My mom always complains about my diet.
That's it. That's what I said. So the first sentence with present simple is most common for us, right?
Yes.
But now we have examples of the use of future form and present continuous for this purpose, for describing habits. So this will form is not that, how will I say it, common again, but it is possible. You can see, I'm not sure in our language, if you could say, describe, i tako ću ja ustati rano, pa ću onda poći na fakultet, pa ću tamo slušati predavanja do popodne i onda ću se vratiti kući. Do we use this form in our language? How does it sound like in our language when we use future form for our habits? Is it common?
Pa mislim da mi ne koristimo to mnogo.
Not that much. Maybe sometimes, especially older people, sometimes you can hear them. But generally, the point is that you may use will form, that's right, not forms but form, to describe a habit, something which is repeated, and you want to explain that this is something that you do from time to time. Okay? But what about sentence number 3? We have always, okay, and present continuous. It is something which is absolutely unusual, right, Boris? How do we use always?
Very right. No, we use always for present simple.
Yes.
Not always question.
How do you understand this sentence? Can you translate that, Boris?
Third sentence.
Third sentence. Number 3.
My mom's always complaining about my diet. Znači, moja majka uvijek
se žali ili uvijek
prigovara mojoj dijeti.
Diet nije samo dijeta u smislu koja je ona restriktivna, nego dijeta je uopšte i način ishrane, onome šta jedem. Znači uvijek se žali, uvijek prigovara, možemo tako, onome što ja jedem. So, do you think that guy, so the boy who is talking this, who is telling this, is happy about it?
No.
No, actually he finds it annoying. And when you want to express like a kind of, you find something irritating, but it is repeating, you have negative attitude to that, you use present continuous with always. Okay, so you don't like it, but you want to emphasize that that person is doing something again and again. Dakle, kad se žalimo, kad nam prosto smeta, kad neko nešto stalno radi i vas to iritira, ide vam na živce, koristimo present continuous. Ne morate biti baš na živce da vas iznervira, ali u smislu da imate prosto onaj iritantno.
Smara nas.
Smara, upravo tako. For example, you have a friend who is always telling you, he's always telling you, oh, I'll call you tomorrow, but he never does. He never calls you, for example. So you will say, he's always calling me. In that way, you show with it always in continuous form that you actually don't like it at all. Okay? Dakle, ovo je način kako da izrazite negodovanje, odnosno da vam smeta što neko stalno nešto radi. Upotrebom present continuousa sa always. Dakle, always je obavezan dio continuousa u ovakvim situacijama. In that way, we express that habit, which is annoying. Okay, then we have similar forms, but in actually past forms for these situations. So you remember this used to be, used to eat. You remember that used to form when we talk about habits in our past. Dakle, ovaj oblik koji smo prošle godine ponavljali, dakle, used to, imali smo naviku, uobičajavali smo ili uobičajavala sam, što god daje, dakle, nešto što je bila navika, ali više nije. Dakle, I used to be so unfit, kaže ona Jasmina gore, jel? Nekad nisam bila baš fit, jel? I nekada sam jela hamburgere i prženu hranu sve vrijeme. And now we have I'd get. You see, in present habits we have will form, and in past habits we use would get. Nemanja Vojinović, how would you translate sentence number 5?
Uzela bi sladoled na putu kući iz škole.
Tako je. Sladoled ili nešto na putu ka kući od škole ka kući, kako god. Dakle, uzela bih. Vidite, i mi koristimo ovaj oblik ja bih nešto uradila ili uradio. Dakle, zato sam vas pitala za ono ću, da li koristimo taj futur oblik za navike, ne baš toliko, ali ovaj would nam je potpuno poznat, zato što ga i mi u našem jeziku imamo i tako bismo mi otišli tamo, mi bismo uradili ovo, oni bi uradili ono. Dakle, taj would form is absolutely familiar to us. Okay, we are familiar with it. And then, of course, past simple, right? General past simple, which we also use for habit in the past. I read a lot of stuff, pročitala sam mnoge stvari o zdravlju, o zdravoj ishrani, and I knew i znala sam da moja ishrana treba da se promijeni. Okay? So, these are some forms, and you will see them here. This is already completed, which I don't like. Ovo je ono što je već riješeno. So, we use the present simple to talk about present habits, repeated actions and state. This is something which we all know, ovo već svi znamo, ovo očekujem da znate, ne očekujem, nego mi je potpuno ono, morate da znate. We often use, često koristimo, the present continuous with always, isključivo s always, to talk about present habits and repeated actions that annoy us or happen more than usual. Dakle, nešto što nas ne vrali, što je više ono već postalo iritantno. We can use will past infinitive to talk about repeated and typical behavior in the present. We don't usually use this verb form with state verbs for this meaning. Dakle, oblik will, dakle za nešto što se također, ja ću tako poći, ja ću kupiti hleb, ja ću ovo, ja ću ono, za izražavanje navike, ali vrlo važno da se uglavnom ne koristi sa glagolima stanja, nego samo sa glagolima radnje. Kao podsjetnik, glagoli stanja su ono be, have, know, remember, forget, remind, understand i tako dalje. So these are present habits. And here we come to past habits. You remember these. We use the past simple and used to talk about past habits, repeated actions and states. Dakle, za sve, i za radnje i za stanja. And we can use would to talk about past habits and repeated actions, but we don't usually use this verb form with state verbs. Isto kao ono will gore što smo imali za present stanja, present navike, tako i would ne koristimo za neke navike u prošlosti sa glagolima stanja. And also we have a tip here. We don't use used to or would plus infinitive for something that only happened once. Dakle, ono što se desilo jedanput svakako da nije navika, nije nešto što smo običajavali, pa samim tim ne možemo ni koristiti u takvim situacijama. I gave up smoking in May, prestala sam da pušim u maju, a nikako ne možete reći I used to give up smoking in May, to bi kao da ste svake godine u maju prestali sa recimo pušenjem ili što god daje. Okay? To je važno. I sad vidimo ovo pod B, ovdje ove dvije rečenice, da vidimo koje od njih dvije govori o onom ponavljanju, o toj tipičnoj nekoj situaciji, tipičnoj navici, a koja govori prosto o nekoj budućoj zaista radnji. Andrej, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Hello, Andrej. Okay. So which of these two sentences here actually talk about repeated and typical behavior, and which talks about the future action?
Sometimes I'll eat junk food if I'm with friends. It's the first one which talks about repeated and typical behavior.
That's right.
Tonight I'll probably have a pizza. It talks about future action.
That's it. Well done. Perfect. Perfect. That's it. Okay. So we can understand this sometimes also very helpful here, because sometimes always refers to a topic, to a habit, and this tonight actually about the future action. So even without sometimes even without these adverbs, we can understand from the context what it actually means. Okay. And what is the big problem here, again, what I don't like, can you help me maybe about the, or I can do that on my own. I have to check, because in the very beginning, a few years ago, it was very difficult to find this book online, because Cambridge editions are well protected. And this is the only one, actually one of the students found this, but you can see it is done. It is fulfilled with solutions, with keywords and so on. And they would like to have one without these. I'll try to find, again, I always forget to do that, but I'll try to find it even today after the class. But I would also ask you to help me find maybe one book without.
To a face-to-face upper intermediate student.
Yes, that's
student
right.
edition.
That's right. Students, that's right. Second edition and students book, the purple one na Ljubića Sta. Because it is not. I mean, there's no point of doing this exercise when it is completed. But maybe I'm not sure. Okay, let's try. We have some numbers. Maybe this is not correct. Because it is not always correct. Nisu uvijek tačno riješene, pa da vidimo, da ih preverimo na kraju krajeva. Ajmo ovako ćemo. Vidim samo ko mi je sve tu. Nisam ga ništa pitala danas. Petar. Krenemo od Petra.
Yes. The sixth exercise?
Yes, please. Okay.
Bernie and I wanted to buy a place before we started a family, so most days, give me a second. We would work.
Okay, yes.
12 hours a day to earn extra money.
That's right. So instead of we would work, is there any other form which you could use?
Well, we could work. I mean,
some work.
Just worked. Past simple. Can you use we used to work?
What says? Can we use used to work?
Used to work here? Yes.
No.
Why not?
Bernie and I wanted to buy a place before we started a family, so most days we. I mean, it doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you could. Grammatically, you could, although it doesn't maybe sound nice, let's say, because of these most days. If you say, for example, without most days, so we used to work 12 hours a day to earn extra money, sounds better. But actually, it is possible because work is an activity verb. Sorry. And in this case, as you can see, this number 3, it means that all these 3 forms can be used because she explains, she's telling about a habit they had in the past and it doesn't work anymore, right? Mm-hmm. They don't work that way anymore. So all 3 forms are correct here. Okay?
Okay.
One more, please.
Just a second. More often than not, we got home from work. Often not when we got home from work, we used to be so tired that we would just have a sandwich.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That is correct. That is correct. So in the first one, you said more often than not when we, you said got home also, right? From work?
Yeah.
Okay. We
would be so tired, or
well,
we could also use we used to be so tired.
You used to be, but would you say we would be so tired? No, because of this verb be. Be is a state verb, you know, and in that case we wouldn't use would form. You remember that would for habits is not used with state verbs. So you would either say we were so tired or we used to be so tired. That we, as you said, would just have, because have a sandwich, have is a state verb, but would have a sandwich means eat a sandwich. So have here is an activity verb. Be careful about have because it has two forms. It can be an activity or a state verb, depending on the context of the sentence. If you say, I have a house, it is a state. But if you have a sandwich, actually it means that you eat a sandwich, right? So it is an activity. So here you could say, we would just have a sandwich, or we used to have a sandwich, or we just had a sandwich, which is past simple form. But in the first part, in number 4 here, you could also say would, because we would get home from work. Tako, in our language as well. Tako kad bismo stigli kući, mi bismo recimo nešto. So you can say we would get home from work in number 4. Okay? Thank you. Christina.
We would seldom watch TV in the evening, and we would rarely go to bed later than 10 p.m.
That's right. You can use would in both these forms because both watch and go are activity verb. Could you use used to form?
Yes, I think.
Generally you would, but whenever you have these, like we said, in these most days, seldom, rarely, when you have these adverbs of frequency or phrases of frequency, that used to is somehow too much, you know. So as I said, grammatically it is okay, but not in use, not in everyday use. Dakle, kad god imate ove priloge ili fraze za učestalost, onda used to gramatički je ok da stoji, ali u govoru ne bi bio toliko čest, jer je to onda nekako ono previše. Samo used to znači we did something regularly. Ovo regularly već je s ovim seldom, rarely ili most days suvišno, razumijete? Tako da kad imate priloge za učestalost ne morate koristiti, nije baš onako prirodno koristiti used to. Ovdje radije would, odnosno obični past simple.
Možemo, na primjer, we seldom watched.
Da, past simple je uvijek alternativa. Dakle, on je ono što je spasonosno. Kad niste sigurni da li biste would ili used to, dakle, past simple je uvijek ono definitivno 100% nepogrešivo. Ali ovo su prosto alternative. Dakle, kroz ova inače upper intermediate, vi do intermediate levela praktično naučite osnove gramatike, ono najosnovnije. Sad od upper pa nadalje sve do onoga advanced učite nijanse, odnosno ono sve malo još dodatno, kako to još može da se kaže i uradi, razumijete? Tako da smo mi naučili da je past simple ono što jeste za navike u prošlosti, ali sad, i ono used to naravno, sad dodajemo i ovo would da je moguće u određenim situacijama, odnosno sa glagolima radnje, ok? Tako isto sad will.
Imam pitanje.
Naravno, izvolite.
Seldom, što znači?
Seldom is like from time to time, rarely, but more rarely. Povremeno, ali više ono, ali rijeđe, ne baš tako često.
Pa ne srećem se uopšte, seldom se srećem s ovim izrazom.
Pa može tako, povremeno, jeste, ponekad, tu i tamo, što bi rekli.
Pa tu i tamo.
Tako je. Mi smo, eto, rijetko gledali, ili ponekad smo, eto možda tako, ponekad, s vremena na vrijeme smo gledali TV uveče i onda bismo rijetko kad otišli u krevet prije, posle 10, dakle rano su išli u krevet. Ok, good. Number 9, Filip.
Number 9. However, once in a while, Bernie... Šta ovdje može?
bi me poveo u neki lokalni
Bernie would
kafić.
take me to a local cafe for a treat.
That's right. Either would take me or just past simple. Once in a while, Bernie took me.
Took me.
Okay. Okay. One more.
Bernie would always tell. What is this guy? And the guy
is the name. The name of their son.
Bernie would always tell Guy how hard life would be. Was back then. And it's true, but most of the time Bernie and I were happy. Though every now and again I get upset because we didn't have much money.
Okay, this is a pretty long sentence, right, with different reforms. So let's get back to it. So Bernie, you said, would always tell Guy, right? What does that mean? That is a habit when?
Habit.
If you say he would tell him.
In the past.
That's right, that's a habit in the past. It would mean Bernie je uvijek govorio Gaju kako je život tada bio težak. But actually, he's not telling, the situation is that it is not the point of habit in the past, because Guy is their young son and he is still telling that. So here we have always with present continuous form. That's what is wrong here. So Bernie is always telling Guy she doesn't like the idea. That is the habit that she doesn't like. If you may also use present simple. Bernie always tells Guy, because it is like habit. He tells that from time to time, which is okay. But if you use present continuous with always here, it is again a habit, but she doesn't like it. You know, she doesn't like that he's telling the story again and again. Dakle, to je ono što sad ovdje je bitno razlikovati kad always koristimo uz present simple sa navikama, a kada sa present continuousom. Dakle, uz oba oblika ono objašnjava da se nešto ponavlja, međutim, ako koristimo sa present continuous, poenta je u tome da se ona buni, odnosno da se to njoj ne sviđa uopšte sama ta ideja što on to stalno ponavlja. Ok? A s ovim would, kako ste rekli, to bi označavalo da je on to prije govorio Gaju, da mu to više ne pominje. Ali sasvim je očigledno da on to u stvari i dalje priča o tome. I zbog ovoga then, ovdje, on priča mu kako je život bio težak tada, odnosno u to vrijeme. Razumijete? Zato je ovdje više present oblik u ovom prvom dijelu. Ok? But most of the time, Bernie and I, vi ste rekli you were happy, što je ok. Bismo rekli, mogli da kažemo we used to be happy. Filipe, kako vam zvuči? But most of the time, Bernie and I used to be happy.
Most of the time, Bernie and I used to be happy.
Kako vam zvuči?
Not good.
Ne baš, opet zbog ovoga most of the time.
Yeah.
Dakle, prosto nekako je previše. Would nikako, pošto je glagol be, glagol stanja, i rekli smo tada ne ide would oblik. Dakle, were, obični past simple je najbolja opcija ovdje. Though every now and again, svako malo, ovo su prosto boldovane fraze, su sve ono oblici kako možemo da izrazimo učestalost neku. Dakle, svako malo, sad i posle, jel, bukvalno, šta ste ovdje bili rekli, Filipe, zaboravili sam? I get upset, ovdje prosto i sada to, jel tako, to je nešto što uobičajava i sada, ja se uznemirim, jel tako, ali ako ona govori o navici, da je ona tada u prošlosti svako malo se nervirala, onda bismo upotrijebili bilo koji od onih oblika, ili would, ili past simple, ili used to. Every now and again I would get upset, though every now and again I got upset. Every now and again, ona najmanje možda prihvatljiva opcija, ali opet gramatički ispravna, I used to get upset. Svako malo ja sam se uznemiravala, because we didn't have, ovdje prosto past simple je jedina opcija zbog ovog glagola stanja, much money. Okay. The last two sentences, maybe Ivan?
15, right?
Yes, sorry. Yes, 15, sorry. There were 3 sentences.
In 1981, we would buy a small apartment, and 10 months later we would have a guy. We have guy.
Is it a habit? Govorimo li o navici ovdje? Nisu dobijali gaja svako malo, nego su ga jednom u životu dobili.
We have? No.
We had. Dakle, that's right. So again in 15 it would also be past simple. Ono što se rekli se dogodilo samo jednom. Onda je to isključivo past simple. Dakle, oni 81. nisu kupovali neki stan, jel? Nego su ga kupili. Dakle, nije bila navika. Dakle, ovdje samo mora biti past simple i u 15. i 16. jer je to bilo only once. Then in 1981 we bought a small apartment and 10 months later we had guy. Dakle, kupili smo stan i nakon 10 mjeseci smo dobili gaja. Dakle, nisu kupovali, nisu imali tu naviku da svako malo kupuju stan i da svako malo dobiju sina, jel? U toj godini. That's the point. Go on, Ivan.
Now that we have more money,
Now that we have, sad kad imamo više novca.
We eat quite often.
That is what we mostly use, present simple. But you can also use a will form, you see, because this is an activity verb. Možete ovdje upotrebiti will također jednako kao present simple za izražavanje te neke navike koju imate u sadašnjosti, jer je glagol radnje u pitanju. Jako je nama to neobično i novo nam je, ali je tako, prosto je possible. And the last one, because these two were short.
And every so often we go to a restaurant. Well, we go to a restaurant we love called Sam's, even though Barney always says we can't afford it.
Okay, that's right. You can use just present simple in each of these forms. Every so often we go, but also as it is given here, we will go. Svako malo ćemo mi tako otići u taj restoran. I uvijek ovo tako dodam u našem jeziku prosto da time označim tu naviku, odnosno to ponavljanje. We love. Ovdje već nećemo koristiti will iz razloga što je ovo glagol stanja. Ovdje mora biti isključivo present simple. Called Sam's, even though Bernie, and I'd rather use present continuous here because she doesn't like that. I mean, it is annoying for her. Jer žene uvijek ne vole kad muževi gunđaju nešto i obrnuto. Dakle, iako Bernie se uvijek kaže, dakle njoj smeta što se on žali, jel, da oni to ne mogu da priušte, odnosno da je to skup. So in that case, I would rather use present continuous instead of present simple with always. Is it okay, Ivan? You understand the point here?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay. So this was not only a review of present simple, present continuous, or past simple. This is also like an addition of how we can express habits either in the present or in the past. Dakle, ovo je ne samo ponavljanje, nego i čisto još dodatak kako možemo da iskoristimo ove oblike koje znamo za izražavanje navika u sadašnjosti ili prošlosti. Ovo mi je navika ostalo prošle godine da kad objasnimo na engleskom da kažemo i na naše, danas nam ne smeta, ako we don't mind it. Okay, we may go on. Now we are going to read a very interesting text. Do you know who these people are, which country they live in?
They look Mongolian to me at least.
Mongolian, yes, you can see here the Mongolian, and we are going to read about them. But before that, we have some, this is good. This is good here because correct forms are hidden here, which is good. So we have some adjectives here followed by prepositions. This is something that we dealt with last year as well. So let's try. I hope we'll have option to show you correct answers. So, to see first, we had all these adjectives last year, and I know you know them, their meanings, and let's decide which prepositions they are followed by. Da vidimo s kojim to prilozima oni u stvari idu. Dakle, koga ćemo da vidim? Đorđe, the first two sentences, okay?
I'm terrified.
Just a second, sorry. Sam pokrila sad ovom opcijom, hoću da vidim samo. No. Sorry. Tako se ja malo igram.
Okay.
Mi će se ugasi sad, neće da mi pobjegne. O Bože dragi. Što ja umijem to? Niko. Sad da mi se pojavio, evo ga, pojavilo mi se to što mi je trebalo gore. So, I'm terrified.
I'm terrified of flying.
Of flying. Mislila sam da mogu ovo da obrišem, ne mogu. Ne da meni.
Terrified of flying, and the second one, I'm fascinated with other cultures.
Just a second. I wanted to check if I can remove this anyway. Anyhow, is this possible?
Ja mislim da ste jednom obrisali to.
Jesam jednom nekada, ali ne znam kako.
Ima na gorenju u tabelu ima na gumice, pa pokušajte možda sa tim.
A evo gumice, ja probam gumicu, ali evo je gumica, ništa, Ovo nije ono kucano ili nešto, nego sam mislila da mogu s ovim da ga imamo li opciju menu hide? Never mind. I just wanted to reveal the answer, da otkrijem odgovor, but never mind. Okay. Maybe no. Here it is. You just need this white. Okay. Oh, good. One more. Georgia, again, please.
I'm fascinated with other cultures.
It is by. You remember that ed form is like past participle, and we mostly use by with ed adjectives. I'm fascinated by other cultures here. Okay, thank you. Boris, the other two.
Treća i četvrta, je li?
Yes, please.
I always get
excited.
A čitamo ovo što ili čekam da mi otvorite to zvukom?
Ne, nego čeka da prvo vi kažete pa da preverimo je li to tačno.
I always get excited traveling to new places.
So, no preposition, there has to be some. I always get excited from, with, of, by, which adjective, or which preposition you think? I'm excited. Any guess? Što da pokušamo, Borisa, koji bi predok tu bio? Anyone? Bilo ko?
With.
Oops. I'm excited about. That's right. I always get excited about, u vezi sa, zbog putovanja. Okay. One more.
I'm usually outside the service. I get on planes. I'm usually satisfied.
Nečim. U ovom slučaju uslugom.
About the service I get on planes, nije, jel?
Actually it is with. Zato sam naglasila ovo nečim, ovo kao padež na neki način. Okay. Number 5 and 6, Petar, please.
I'm shocked with how little some. No.
Just a second.
I'm shocked.
I'm
shocked. But I don't know, man. I'm shocked.
By sounds like very nice, right? But
yeah, it
actually,
is, but I know it's not. That's why
we have
shocked with. Yeah,
shocked with. Šokiran nečim isto kao u prethodnom onom primjeru.
Yeah, how little some people know about my
one more.
I was quite disappointed on the last place.
It is short. You see that square here, not rectangle.
I was quite disappointed by the last place I went on holiday.
In the last, be disappointed in something. I will tell you about these examples. Okay, just let's go through them. Luka, number 7. Luka Vukovic, are you there or not again?
Yes.
Okay, please, number 7.
I was impressed by
the facilities, that's right. Okay. And number 8. Be aware. Look again. I didn't hear you. Did you say off?
Off.
Yes, that's right. Oops. Be aware of. That's right. And we have some more examples here. Christina, number 9 and 10.
4.
Sorry, I think my country is famous for about its historical buildings.
That's right. Okay. Was it Andre who helped? Okay.
And 10. Agree very fond of the people I met on holiday.
That's right. Fond of. What does it mean to be fond of?
Kad se sviđaju.
Tako je, ono prijaju, tako je, that's right. Yes, that's right. Andre, the last 2.
I'm not sure that the need, no.
That is not a preposition?
Ne, I'm not sure of, je li? Može li biti? Ne može, duga je ovo. About the need for so many security checks a day. I'm sick of wasting time. Sick of wasting time.
That's right. Sick of is more common, so we are more familiar. I hope you remember that we talked last year about the use of prepositions. That is a language unit which is pretty difficult to explain. Because there are no rules which preposition goes with each of these adjectives. So the point is that we have to somehow memorize them, you know. The more we use them, the more actually we'll know which preposition goes with each of these adjectives. You remember the examples we had last year in our language when we talked about educational institutions. Why do we say, that is the question which I always ask, that idemo u školu, ali idemo na fakultet, idemo u prodavnicu, idemo na posao. You remember those examples?
Yeah, we did.
Can you explain them?
No.
No, we didn't even know back then, so.
Definitely. We cannot explain prepositions in our language. They have the same, in a way, it's not the same meaning, but actually both u and na, in these cases, in these examples, mean direction, right? But we know that on has absolutely different, it puts something on the surface, right? And also we say, for example, da nešto zavisi od nečega, je li tako? A kako biš u engleskom, kao glagol? Depend?
Depends of?
On, ne of, nego on. Da, prosto nemamo istu upotrebu, ne samo engleski i naš jezik, nego u svim jezicima. Pravila za upotrebu predloga jednostavno nema, nego ih učimo onako kako nam, tu najčešće znamo da je pravac, jel tako, kad idemo ka nečemu, kada dodadimo mjesto, ono, destinaciju gdje stižemo. Međutim, tu ima i neke druge upotrebe. Ako ga prevedemo sa u na naš jezik, at je isto u, in je isto u. Dakle, opet imaju različita značenja u različitim jezicima. Tako da ne postoji jednostavno pravilo da kažemo, s ovim pridjevima ide of, s ovima ide with, s ovima ide about ili kako god, nego jednostavno učimo ih onako što ih više koristimo. Sick of, znate, jel tako, naučili ste ga odavno, famous about, tako dalje, tako da jednostavno ono uđe nam nekako, eto tako. Tako da ovo su samo neki od primjera i sa kojima se jednostavno srećemo i, ja sad ovo ostavim ovaj bijeli krug providni u stvari. Okay, so this was something about vocabulary, and now before we start reading about a letter from abroad, actually about Mongolia, what do you know about? Yes, any question?
Not a question. Can we have a break? Like.
Oh yes. I also need a break, but I because I made 2 breaks, I was like, shy to ask you. Okay, can we have 5 minutes break?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
All.
I will pause recording, so we'll in 5 minutes. In 1:06. Ali među vremenu moje dijete iz Švedske je zvalo, morala sam se javim. Nećete zamjeriti.
Ne, nećemo, moga mi.
Pa ćete se vi, Bože zdravlje, iduće godine Švedske javljati, jel?
Nadam se.
Ok.
Nemojte samo zaboravite, snimite.
Hvala Ivan. Ilija, resume recording. We are going on. Thank you very much. Okay. Glas razuma. Okay. So, let's start reading.
Yes. Izvinite, da li vi to što snimate izbacujete negdje ili neko izbacuje? Nisam ukapirala to.
I treba na platformi je tamo za svaku sedmicu i snimak. S tim što za prethodnu nisam, nisam za prvu godinu, za vas bi trebalo da sam izbacila. Ako nisam, sad ću kad završi, kad se ovaj uploaduje, onda ću izbaciti. Svaka sedmica ima svoj snimak po datumima. Okay, molim. Okay. Let's go to the first paragraph. Just go quickly, just skim it. Are you done? I guess you are.
Done.
Okay. And a new word here besides this gur here. Okay.
Because I think the gurs are the
original.
Tense.
It is original word. It is Mongolian word. You know, so that it isn't an English word, and therefore we have to accept it like it. And you have explanation actually that kind of this tent is called gur. Okay. Anything else?
No.
No? Okay, before we go on reading, this is something which I, just to reply to Boris. Generally, what do you know about Mongolia? Do you know anything?
It was the second largest empire in the world, right next to the British one. Almost, I think, 18% of the world was conquered by them. Secondly, their leader, Temujin Boryagin, or Genghis Khan, they have a big statue of him too. And they have endangered camels and snow leopards.
Oh, really? Endangered?
Endangered, yes. A special kind of camel, and the only snow leopards in the world are in the Mongolian and Chinese regions. So they're there.
That's great. I didn't know that. Thank you, Ilya. It's good
to know. They got pretty cute faces.
Vasily, did you say something?
No, I said they got pretty cute faces.
That's true.
Okay, that is very.
I know that's the landlocked country between China and Russia.
Oh,
so the people are fat because of cold, I think.
So they are between two very powerful countries. Do you think they have like positive influence on them?
No,
I don't think. I think they're mostly ignored. Though recently they came out in the world with. They have a heavy metal band called the Who. They are very popular in Australia, and now they're moving their way up in America.
In Australia, interesting.
Yes,
okay.
They have mostly business there because Australia is the closest one that will do business with them. So.
And do you think this is a typical way how Mongolians live in these gurs or gers?
No, I think this is more of a tourist thing.
Yeah.
Though considering their origins, I wouldn't be surprised if there are some people that actually want to live the nomadic life. They are nomadic people after all.
Actually, they maybe in those rural parts, in some of those mountains or somewhere, this is the way how people live. After we read the whole text, we will compare them to us, to Montenegro, okay? So let's go on. Oops. Okay. The following two paragraphs. Are you done?
Yes.
Ilya, yes, but what about the others?
Yes.
Okay, okay. What does viciously mean here?
I guess very aggressive cold.
Yes?
Very scary cold, in fact. Minus 40 degrees Celsius is no joke.
Yes, somebody else?
Ništa isto mislim.
The same. Okay, Andrei, thank you. And what is archery? Okay, wrestling first. I guess you know wrestling.
Wrestling, yes. Archery.
Ne streljaštvo.
Bow and arrow, using a bow and arrow.
Streličarstvo, that's right, Kristina. Streljaštvo je sa oružjem ovim vatrenim, jel? A ovo je streličarstvo. And anything else that might be new for you, maybe? No? Okay. And we have the last part, just 2 sentences more. Okay. So, these are some interesting facts that we know about Mongolians generally. But how could you compare them to us, to Montenegrins? To the way how we live, or people in some part of our country actually live? Do we have anything in common?
Yeah, we got a lot of meat as well.
We also eat a lot of meat. And in summer, we also, I wouldn't say only in summer, during all year, we eat a lot of milk-based food, right? Like the yogurt, cheese. I guess in every home, cheese is like must-have, something that is like salad for us.
True.
Okay. Anything else? What are these lumps of meat? Lump.
Grudvice, no?
Grudvice, tako je, grudvice. To je nešto što je slično onim, kako zove, čvarcima, recimo, kod nas. Lumps of fat, to su grudvice masti, to je u suštini, to su čvarci oni, jel? Okay, which are also common in this region. Okay. And
we have rakia, they have Arag.
That's right. But what is interesting about the Arag, it is made,
fermented horse milk. I heard it was a very
milk, which is interesting. Did you know, actually, have you known that some kind of alcohol can be made from milk?
Yes, most Nordic countries, or generally any country that lives in a cold climate, actually makes some sort of alcoholic milk drink. I haven't had the chance to try it. I heard it was very, 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 very hardcore. That's really tough drink.
Hey, who is that? Who is that laughing? Okay, I don't know, never mind. Actually, as you said, in those very cold countries, we know that Russian people, the vodka, right, they drink it because it's cold, it helps, like, it's good for blood circulation, but of course in those, when we talk about quantity, right, it has to be like, Philip, are you okay?
I am.
Okay. And what about these activities, these festivals, actually they have? Do we have anything like that? You know?
I don't think we had a chance to have something like this because we were mostly under the Ottoman Empire.
Does any of you have some grandparents or relatives somewhere in northern parts where you can go during summer or during the year?
I'm going to Shabljak during the year, but it's not that terrifying, like minus 50 degrees.
Okay. But what about...
But it can be cold to like minus 15 or minus 17 more.
And what kind of diet then there is in use? What kind of food?
Just eat a lot, that's it.
Meat, right? That like as
meat, soup, milk, and cheese and those things.
What about
beans?
Drink? What about alcohol?
Vegetables, of course. Alcohol, rarely.
Rarely. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe
and,
wine.
Wine. Okay. Okay. Has any of you heard of a kind of a drink, milk-based drink called yardum? Do you know what it is?
Yes, I know.
Okay. But Anna, what is that? Can you explain that?
I think that's something like a goat milk, right?
Yes. Actually, not goat, but sheep milk.
Yeah, it's mixed.
Sheep milk, that's right. And how is it prepared? You know that?
I have no idea. Like, I know that people here in my town drink it a lot, but I have no idea. Like,
the first time I drank it was in Gusinje when I was a child, you know.
Really?
And because I expected you that you know the taste. Actually, it is that milk is boiled a long time, you know, and it's salted. It has a salty taste, and it is pretty thick, like not like yogurt, but something between milk and yogurt. But it is not sour. It is salt, you know, and it's very, very strong drink. And this is something which only people in northern parts actually make because it is appropriate for that kind of climate, not for southern part, because it is really, really strong. Okay. When it comes to these festivals, I know that in some parts of our country, especially northern parts, there are some kind of holidays, whatever they are, and where different kinds of these activities of these.
Yeah, we have Blackberry Days, and in these days we represent our like national food. And
that's it. And I guess young people, not only young people, but people generally compete in different, I don't know, abilities, whatever they are. For example, in morning grass, kosidba, for example, or I don't know, jumping or throwing a stone from the shoulder, however, bacanje kamena s ramena. Those traditional, let's say, games or competitions, which can be very, very interesting, especially for tourists. Maybe not for us.
Also for us is the most interesting part of the summer.
Yes.
It's always some manifestations and concerts and all this stuff.
That is very, very not interesting, but what I said that very good way for people to gather, to meet each other, because we are always so busy, we don't have time for anything. This is like a small feast where people can actually meet and just be friends after all. Okay, so this is something about Mongolia. And here we have, just a second, no, not here, reading comprehension, that is something else. Anyway, we will not deal with the text anymore. We will learn something about this country and about actually those rural parts, northern parts where it is very cold, but in big cities, I'm sure that people live just the way people live all around the world. What we will focus on are, again, these phrases, these sentences given in bold, and we have 6 of them all together. Let me try, yes. No, I have to. Okay, we can see all of them now. And you will recognize that we have different uses, different forms with this used in them, okay? So, in sentence number 1, we have, I'm used to staying in these wonderful tents now, okay? And in sentence number 2, we have, I'm slowly getting used to it. So, Danilo, what's the difference in these 2 sentences? What do they mean, actually? Is Danilo there? No, his camera is off, so I guess he's not there. Petar, are you there?
Yes.
Thank you, Petar.
Which one was it? I'm used to staying in these wonderful tents now.
Yeah,
and I'm slowly getting used to it. Is it those 2? I'm used to staying in these wonderful tents. Should I say on English? Or?
Yes, in our language.
Navikao sam da, mislim, da
boravim, možda je fina riječ.
Da boravim. Navikao sam da boravim u ovim
divnim šatorima sada, ok.
Sada. A u drugoj je da se polako navikavam.
Tako je. Dakle, u ovoj prvoj, the first one, we have only verb be with this used to form. I am in present simple form, so I'm used now. Dakle, sad sam naviknut, navikao sam se. And the other one we have I'm getting. So get, you know, that change, something you want to become something. Dakle, postajem bukvalno naviknut, odnosno navikavam se. So we talk about 2 different forms, about be used to and getting used to. Okay? Dakle, to su 2 različita oblika, ali opet svi su oni, vidjet ćete, kroz različita vremena negdje provučeni. Dakle, ovdje imamo present simple sa used to, ovdje imamo opet present simple, odnosno present continuous s ovim get oblikom. Thank you, Petar. George, 3 and 4.
To get used to eating so much meat, and I certainly wasn't used to the lumps of fat.
Which form do we have in sentence number 3, in this 3 part? Trebalo mi je neko vrijeme.
Da se navikne da jede toliko mesa.
Toliko mesa. Znamo što vi zapadnih zemalja, oni više povrća jedu, pa im je neobično da jedu toliko mesa kao mi, ali oni. Okay. Dakle, here we have what? We have infinitive form. Ovdje imamo infinitive od ovoga get used. U rečenici broj 2 isto je forma get used, ali je u present continuous. Ovdje imamo am getting, tako je. A u trećoj ista forma, ali sa infinitive. Dakle, to get used. Okay. I u četvrtoj?
Sigurno nisam bio naviknut na grudvice mesa. To je u infinitivu.
Tako je. Ne, nije ovdje infinitiv, nego imamo wasn't used, tako je. Dakle, isti oblik kao u prvoj, odnosno be used to, navići se na nešto, biti naviknut, ali je sad u prošlom vremenu, dakle ovdje u sadašnjem. Ja sam sad naviknut, ali ovdje u četvrtom imamo sigurno nisam bio tada naviknut, odnosno pošto ovo priča žena, ženski je rod, nisam bila naviknuta tada u prošlosti, ali sada jesam. Ok, Okay, good. And sentences number 5 and 6. Nemanja, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Please.
I'll never get used to being outside in those temperatures. I still haven't got used to air egg.
So here, which form we have here? Will never get used.
Kao nikad se neće navići da bude napolju u toj temperaturi.
Tako je.
A ovdje se i dalje ni navikli.
Tako je. Future form in will in number 5. I will never get used. Evo ga opet oblik sa get used. Neću se uspjeti naviknuti, a da ga tako negdje možda razlikujemo od onoga samo navići se. I ovdje imamo present perfect simple, opet s ovim oblikom get used. Još uvijek se nisam navikla na to piće na air egg. Okay? Dakle, what is important here is to make a difference between forms be used to and get used to. But just a second, I'll get back once again. What can you notice about these forms used to? What are they followed by? Šta ide posle njih? Kakvi oblici idu? Šta može da ide posle ovoga? Ili be used to ili get used to?
Ide sa ing form.
Kristina?
Dodaje se ing form posle used to.
That's right. If we use a verb, it has to be ing.
Yes.
I'm used to staying, that's right. I never get used to being here. And in the last one, no, not that one. Which one? We have also verb form. No more, only these two. But instead of a verb form, we can also use either a noun phrase or pronoun. Ali nekad umjesto glagolskog oblika možemo koristiti imenicu, imensku frazu ili prosto zamjenicu. Dakle, I'm slowly getting used to it. Evo nam zamjenica. Wasn't used to the lumps of fat. Imenska fraza, čitava na te gumu i tako dalje. Dakle, ili imenica, imenska fraza, zamjenica, ili glagol, ali taj glagol u tom slučaju mora biti u ing obliku. I vrlo je bitno razlikovati od onoga samoga used to što smo ranije imali. Ok? I evo nam ovdje pod ovim B, for B, we are supposed to complete these two rules, either with get used to or be used to. Okay? So, maybe Ilya can do that.
We use be used to talk about things that are
right.
familiar and no longer strange or difficult for us.
Yes.
And we use get used to talk about things that become familiar, less strange or less difficult for a period of time.
Tako je, get used to navikavati se, privikavati se, a samo ovo be used to je da je to već završeno, naviknuto. Okay, we have two more rules here. Vasilije, can you do the C part? Vasily, are you there? See this one here?
After being used.
What do we use? Infinitive or ing form?
And ing form.
That's right. After be used to and get used to, we use the verb ing or ing form. Good. One more.
After be used to and get used to, we can use a noun. We can't.
Šta sam malo čas rekli? Da ako nije glagol, onda može da bude we can use a noun or a pronoun. Možemo da koristimo imenicu ili zamjenicu. Kao što smo rekli, smo ovdje imali ono it. Evo ga. I'm slowly getting used to it, evo nam je zamjenica, ili I wasn't used to the lumps of fat, to je dakle imenica, odnosno imenska fraza. Dakle, can će ovdje biti.
Dakle, can, okay.
That's right. I vidjeli ste da se oni javljaju kroz različita vremena. I am used, I'm getting used, I have got used i tako dalje, dakle kroz sve ove vremenske Vami ću se od ove knjige, od ovih rješenja ovdje, načisto me nerviraju. Samo da vidimo ovdje, pošto je ovaj već riješen. Samo sekundu, ja mislim da imam, ne mislim nego znam da imam radnu svesku. Da vidimo, tu možda nije, nadamo se da nije riješeno. I'm going to share that as well, so we can do some other exercises. No, can't be. Ona je potpuno riješena. Awful. Not this one. The first exercise, the first unit only. Oh, great. New share. Yeah, actually, you can see the workbook, right? Here.
Yes.
You do? Oh. It's already shared. Okay. And malo kopije. Ovo je ono što smo imali malo prije, nego hoću ovaj ovdje dio. Radna sveska je tamo isto na platformi, jel tako? I pogledajte. Just a second. Here it is, exercise number 3. Fill in the gaps with the correct form of be used to or get used to and the verb in brackets. For example, Julia kept drinking lots of water. She isn't used to eating such spicy food. That is an example. Ilya, number 2.
I'm always losing my sunglasses. I haven't I will get used to, be used to. Haven't got used to wearing them yet.
I haven't got
used to wearing them yet.
That's right, I haven't got to use, još uvijek nisam se privikao, dakle još uvijek stičem tu naviku, dakle get used to oblik, ali present perfect simple zbog ovoga yet it is still in progress. Okay, thank you. Christina, number 3.
I'm finding it more difficult than I thought to on the right. To get used to driving on the right.
I'm finding it more difficult than I thought I'm finding it more difficult than I thought. To get
used to driving on the right.
That's right.
To get used to driving.
That's right, because this is infinitive form here.
Yes.
So it's to get used to. Okay. Number 4. Let's say Philip.
My children are used to flying because we traveled abroad when they were babies.
That's right. They are used now. They don't have any problems. They're familiar with that. Thank you. Luca, number 5. Luka. Nešto mi Luka, malo više ga nema nego što ga ima. Andrej. Ili Andrej tu?
Tu sam, profesorica.
Thank you, Andrej. Thank you very much for being here today. Ajdemo ovu 5.
It's taken me ages, but I have finally get used to drink tea with milk.
Ali ako je I've finally, bit će...
Navikao sam.
Ali ne get onda.
I am used to. I've got... Moja greška. Promašio sam vrijeme, ali to...
Ok, I've finally got...
Used to drink tea with milk.
Tu, šta će biti, kako ide glagol?
To drinking, yeah.
Drinking.
ING mora.
Tako, mora biti ING. Dakle, it's taken me ages, but I finally got used to drinking tea with milk. Ok, samo da...
Yes,
ok. Number 6, Petar?
Are you used to living in a country without seasons yet?
That's right. Are you used to living? Good. And the last one, George?
My grandmother is now getting used to answering emails, but she still can't use a mobile phone.
I'm just thinking of my grandmother is now getting used, but she still can't. But if she, that would mean that she's also still learning, let's say, to answer emails. But actually here she knows how to do that. So she's not getting.
My grandmother is now...
Ona je već naučila, već zna.
Get used to answering emails.
Bez get.
Used to answering emails.
Tako je. She's now used to answering, mora biti ing, answering emails, but she still can't use a mobile phone. Naučila je da odgovori na mail, ali uči da koristi mobilni telefon.
Jedno pitanje, profesorice, nisam se ispratio. Ide li uvijek ing? Nebitno je li get used to ili samo used to?
Ako koristimo glagol, mora ići ing. Bilo da je be used to ili get used to.
Važi.
Ide ing oblik. Ali zato zapamtite, ono što smo imali I used to samo u prošlosti, nekada sam, onda ide onaj infinitivni. I used to stay long, I used to get up early i tako dalje. Tu je ovaj infinitiv. Ajmo još ovu ovdje da malo ovo provježbamo i onda privodimo kraju. Will has just started working from home. Fill in the gaps with the correct form of these verbs. So complete the sentences using some of them. For example, before I worked from home, I used to waste at least 3 hours a day on the train. Here we have used to form. Okay? Boris, let's try number 2. Ajmo sada vidimo.
Tu sam, profesor, nešto drugo ujedno radim. I still can't get used to not focus. Nije enjoy. Enjoy leave home at 7 o'clock every morning. Nije. Aha, I still can't get used to not.
Nešto što važite man za ovu situaciju učenja online.
Da moraš nešto.
Tako je.
Have to, jeli?
Ali kako će onda ići? To not? Što ne moram. Mora ići ing, bez obzira što je not ovdje.
To not having to leave home at 7 o'clock every morning.
Tako je. I still can't get used to not having to not having to leave home at 7 o'clock. Što prosto ne moram da ustajem, da idem iz kuće u 7 sati. Teško se navići na to. Ok, thank you. Number 3, Đorđe.
I'm still not used to organizing my own working day. I get distracted easily.
Good, very good. To organizing, well. Number 4, Petar.
I used to
sad je used to, pazite, aha.
I used to enjoy chatting to people in the office, so sometimes I feel a bit lonely.
That's right. I used to chat, sad je chat, čisto infinitiv, zbog ovoga samo used to, nekada sam. I used to enjoy, izvinjavam se, chatting. Number 5, Ilija.
I'm slowly getting used to focusing, I think, on work rather than what's happening at home.
That's right, focusing on work. Then number 6, mislim da se mogu ovdje vidjeti. Anna?
I'd find it difficult to get used to wearing suits and ties again instead of my jeans.
That's right, very well. And Christina, the last one.
Sorry. When I worked in an office, I never used to getting home in time to go to the gym in the evening.
That's right. Never used to getting home. Nikad se nisam navikla na, ne, I never used to get home, izvinjavam se, ovo je ono što navika je bilo u prošlosti. Kada sam radio u kancelariji, nisam imao običaj, nisam navikavao da stignem kući i tako dalje. Dakle, ovdje ide čisto infinitivni oblik, ne ing, jer je used to do something. Ok, good. Dobro, samo da vidim, da se vratim na knjigu. Pošto mi je ovo urađeno, ovdje nemamo šta više da... ne mogu da pomerim ove slike. Evo ih tu. Ovo je nešto što nam je za sljedeći put što nam slijedi. Dakle, speaking and listening, ja potrudit ću se da ove listeninge, odnosno audio materijal nađem u drugom formatu, ne u onome što ga imam, što je u cijelosti, nego da bude izdiljen, potrudit ću se, ako ne, pokušat ću nekako da nađem način koji je to pravi, a ako ne, preskakat ćemo se na vrijeme. Anyway, we'll have short, let's say, reading and something about vocabulary, something you can see about suffixes. We'll go quickly, I mean not quickly, but it doesn't take much time because you are familiar with that. And we are going to skip this one. Ovaj ćemo dio da preskočimo. Sljedeći put, čisto da znate, da vas ne čudi, because we have less time than we really need. And then we will start unit number 3 because it is a very, very interesting whole unit. You will learn some interesting things. So, my last reminder, not warning, but reminder for all of you is to join Slack. All of you who are here, there are no excuses. I said Slack is not only for those students who are not regular, those who never appear on classes or during semester, who only come on exams. So we cannot count on them, but I can count on you. So please join that platform and post the link with video until the end of the day, okay?
Imam pitanje.
Nema glupih pitanja, samo glupih
odgovora. Da li će nam zadavati zadatke na Blomstein tamo kako se ko proziva, ćete vi da nam zadajete?
Ne, zadaci koji budu tamo, koje imamo, onim, da kažemo, ponedeljama, odnosno onim kanalima, su naša zajednička odluka. Razumijete, znači mi smo se dogovorili zajednički oko toga šta ćete da radite, ali prosto će ona postavljati. Dakle, ona ili Olivera, najčešće će Šar postavljati, tako da sasvim je sve jedno koje, dakle to je sve zajedničko. Jedino što ću vam proslijediti, evo mogu mi reći na kraju krajeva da znate, za ono bodovanje, nekad sam donosi poene od ovog, tako se zove, prvog kolokvijuma, s tim što mu ti 20 poena, recimo 10 poena nosi ova aktivnost, odnosno ovo sve što imate ovu prepisku, da kažemo, sa njima, ovaj video, ovo što radite u toku, da kažemo, ovih 4 sedmice, a ostali 10 poena će vam nositi onaj grupni rad, odnosno ono što radite, kad budete taj završni dio napravili tu kao, da kažem, zajedničku prezentaciju koju budete kao grupa napravili. Ok, o tome upustimo. Tako zato i kažem, budite malo onako, da kažem, još ko se do sad nije, ova ekipa koja je do sad zaista su sjajni bili, svaka čast na komunikaciji i svemu, a vama koji još uvijek niste, pridružite se, komentarišite nečije tamo što imate one njihove tamo, šta već.
Profesorice, slušamo po cijel dan gdje se god obrnemo o koroni i oni su još tamo uzeli da mi pričaju o koroni, znači gdje se god obrnemo. Ja pokušavam da promijenim temu, ali...
Ja sam pomijetio to isto, mi hoćemo nećemo dugome i odmah ništa ignorišemo s kompletno.
Nenormalno dosadna tema.
Najgora tema.
Znate kako...
Probajte Black Lives Matter, možda će odgovoriti.
Nemoj, molim to.
Ne, da vam kažem, s obzirom da će tema da bude... primjer, jako fino primijetila sam da je, kad sam odgledala Filipov, na primjer, video i Petrov, čini mi se, tako, da je, ono da ste rekli, na primjer, da ste se preselili iz Srbije ovdje i tako dalje, jel tako? Pošto će jedna od tema u čitavom ovom projektu biti i ono migracije raznorazne i tako dalje, onda to negdje na neki način može da bude isto jedna od zanimljivih tema i recimo Haris, koji je tamo otišao, vidjela sam isto neka djevojka koja je već rekao sa 4 godine da je otišao u nekom komentaru vašem za Ameriku, da su učili ono preko crtanih što ste vi postavili onaj hashtag, šta li već. Tako da možda se tih tema slobodno, i rekli smo da će Black Lives Matter također biti jedna od tema koje ćemo se dotaći u sklopu ovoga i prosto naše viđenje cijele te priče, ali nemojte nek oni krenu, kod njih to nije strašno, mislim kod njih je to redovna tema, ali nek oni ipak pokrenu i da jednostavno na kraju krajeva kažete da su i kod nas bile, ako ste propratili, jedna mala grupica ljudi je dalo da kažemo, ajde nisu protest, odnosno bilo okupljanje ovdje u Podgorici, nije znam, je bilo 30 ljudi, ali u svakom slučaju dali smo im podršku, dali su im u stvari ti koji su bili tamo podršku i eto da smo svjesni svega toga i da mi nemamo tu vrstu, da kažemo, problema, a nažalost imamo neki drugih koja negdje tamo ili vamo znaju da se podvuku kao što su nažalost nacionalizam ili ne znam, vjerska pripadnost, nepripadnost i takve stvari koje eto negdje prosto kad se razviju te teme možete o tome da pričate. Ok? Još pitanja?
So it's a must.
It's a must, yes, Steven.
Oh, God. Okay.
It's a polite must.
Ući unutra sa osmijehom, vjerujem ima, kao da će zapričati sa zidom po neki put, tamo. Nisam neku dobru impresiju dobio od njih, ja sam slao par privatnih poruka ovima, ali samo jedna osoba odgovorila, tako da
Jasno mi je, ali prosto tako je. Takvi su. Ja sad, to što sam rekla, ono što je do nas, do vas, vi odradite i nemojte da vas ove djevojke sa UDG-a preteknu po tim videima je stalo, please. Mislim, računam na vas. Računajte na nas. Okay then. Enjoy the week, enjoy this beautiful weather, go outside, spend some time, take some vitamin D, it's very important.